Oh my god, it's so much fun. Oh my god.
What in the world?
I know, it's freaking absolutely absurd. It's like a road legal go-kart. It really is.
You have to
It's
wear the
amazing
glasses?
though. Yeah, because it's like you're like a freaking pilot. It's like, whoa. No, it's amazing. So what's been happening, as I've found, the Bumble is, you know, the flagship vehicle of Vermont Overland. It's incredible. It's like my soulmate. But what I'm finding is when I'm out exploring, it's one thing when the trails are already been driven and people are used to seeing trucks on the trails, no problem. But when I'm out exploring, doing pre-running and looking at newer trails or trails that I've not looked at in 10 or 15 years, which I'm doing now for the birdwatching safari, man, it's freaking people out. It's like I'm driving in, I got this huge truck on 35s, big lift, decals all over it, and people are just coming out screaming and yelling, and they're like, what the hell is going on, especially on the roads that haven't been driven much. So, and this has been a long time coming. What I'm seeing though in a lot of these different trails is that they are being used by side-by-sides and ATVs a lot, like buffed out. And I'm like, what vehicle could I get that has the basic weight of a side-by-side, that is immediately recognizable and lovable, and people aren't going to freak out? And of course, a Willys Jeep came to mind. So I look on Craigslist. I find this thing literally the first search I do. I look on Craigslist. I see the orange patina. Always love the 3Bs because they have a slightly bigger motor rather than the 2A, which is much smaller motor and smaller hood. The 3Bs have this big chunky hood in the front, which makes them look just adorable. And I was like, that's it. And the prices compared to a series Land Rover are not even close. I mean, it's like a fraction, 1/4 of the price of a series truck. As sensitive as it gets. So right near a house, Sunday morning, everybody's home. It should go in the woods to the right. I'm not seeing where it does that. Maybe up here. All right, so what I do now, just to let you know, I take my trusty stylus and I go back into a different app called Goodreader, which very few people know about. So I go into Goodreader and I'll find Brookfield, my master list here, and see I've circled it here that I want to look at it, and I'll make a note that says, okay, I'll say goes into yard, and that way I've got this on my master list all the time. So I get out and pre-run trails, and it mainly because it's the way we find them. So we get out and I look on the maps, and it's the thing, everybody says, oh, Vermont's so great, you've got these VTrans maps. Well, there's a major problem with the VTrans maps, and that is that the maps are great, and they're geotagged, and they're awesome, and they work with this app called a Benza, and the blue dot overlays right over it. There's only one problem. Only a small fraction of the roads that appear on the map are actually driven. So we have to go find those roads. And yes, in the past, I have been the one who drove the road first. Bad idea. So, because what happens when I do that is invariably I have really, really angry landowners. Even though it's perfectly legal, I'm just clearing deadfall and driving a road that's a public highway. It just pisses people off because they don't want that road driven. They want their privacy. So I've been waiting, and what's happening now is this bonanza of side-by-sides out there who are clearing the trails for me. So what I'm noticing when I go around to these different towns, when I'm pre-running like this, I'm finding trails that are open. And so but what I'm doing right now is trying to increase the number of trails available for the birdwatching safari. And the only way to do that is to just get out here and try it. Drive by people's houses, have dogs there, see if they come out. That was huge. I had 2 homes, end of a road that is not driven. Nobody came out. It is Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. Everybody's home. Nobody came out. That is a victory number 1 for Wilson. Let's see what happens on the next trail. That might be a little red. I think that's a red spot. I mean, it's borderline. It's borderline. I'm gonna put red just for the hell of it. We need some red. That is freaking awesome. And it's getting better up there. Tell you, I used to think it was none, and it's now like, it's got to be 30-40% of our customers do both. They do the bicycle event and they're off-roading and they're overlanders. It really does dovetail nicely because overlanding is about getting out in the countryside, camping, exploring, but once you're there, you want to get a workout. You want to explore. There's so many more places you can go via bicycle when you're in your location, so it dovetails beautifully. I'm actually noting views. We're on a main road here. We're not even on a class 4, but I'm noting these beautiful views because that's part of it. Part of overlanding and exploring Vermont is actually seeing the homes and the views and the other things. Oh, there's the trail. Here we go.
Once you're off the first ledge, cut to your left a little bit. That's perfect, and then a little bit more to your right.
Got it.
That's soupy.
It's like you're through it before you're stuck. It wants to be stuck, but you're already through it. You wanna go play? No boy. No boy. Violet? Violet, you be nice. We are at Blythedale Farm in Corinth. And it is like a typical farm situation where you just walk in, it's on the honor system, you open up the fridge, you get some cheese and you leave the money in the fridge. It's crazy. It's so cool. I'll have a little bit extra. I'm starving, so I'm going to have some of the cheese right now.
How is the Willys holding up?
Willys holding up okay. We seem to have a fairly decent sized leak, like a main seal leak. So, but it seems to stop when I stop. It could be, we've been running this thing 8 hours straight, so, oh God, dude. Baby Bray. Low. Have some, but we're low. That says empty. Empty. This is so cool. I know this guy. Oh my God.
That is a cool ride.
Well, I am wondering if I might trouble you.
That is a cool ride.
I need some. I've got a main seal leak, oil leak.
Me?
And
what am I gonna do for you?
Engine oil.
Oh, you need engine oil?
That's all I need.
Oh, I got engine oil.
That's all I need. We were trying to make it to Bradford. As soon as I went by, Ansel's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "This guy will help us." God is
1040.
that'll work.
How much you need?
I think that'll probably do it.
Just a quart?
I'll measure. It's not a very big engine.
I've been doing this for forever. I just sold a Mini today. Kidding. Cooper. Some guy from Stowe, Vermont. They went to that Stowe show.
Oh yeah, the British invasion's going
I
on.
don't go to that foolish thing, but I.
Oh my God! We just happened upon. We have a main seal leak in the Willys in Wilson is his name, And we're going by this guy's house, and he's got a bunch of series Land Rovers outside, and I said, you said to me, I put on the brakes, you're like, what are you doing? I was like, we're all set. And as soon as we went in there, we just spent a better part of an hour talking to this guy. He's got series Land Rovers and VWs all over the place, and man after my own heart. And he gave me a quart of oil, so now we're on the road again, all set. So today was utterly groundbreaking, to be honest. I mean, it was groundbreaking because, to be honest, folks, you know, the people who know me have known that I've been hesitant about overlanding in Vermont, and I think the reason is there's a and it's a problem for all of us, but it's either a problem or it's not a problem. It's now considered, we ran into a group today of 3 or 4 people on side-by-sides, and it was as if they had families in there, and it was as if it was in the 1950s or 1960s in a Jeep like this, except now they're in side-by-sides. That is the appropriate vehicle by most people's perspectives in Vermont. When they see a lot of our built vehicles, and only time will tell, you know, we're going to see it VOBS in a couple weeks, so I still think it's fine. Every trail I put on the map, by the way, is as safe as I can make it. So it's not like you guys are going to run into trouble. I'm out here creating the sausage right now. This is how sausage is made. I'm out there taking the risk, going on these trails, and seeing what happens. And I only put the ones that are good to go on the map, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's interesting times for the future, and we'll see. It could just be these side-by-sides are like, yep, that's what a lot of people use, but still the licensed motor vehicles are the highest on the food chain. Who knows? It might get inverted, and we might get flicked right out of it. Interesting times.